Mainstream is a charnel ground. So in Buddhism, you have this concept called practicing Cho, severance, in the charnel ground. So that concept of Cho, the Cho practice in Buddhism, when monks go into the charnel ground, practice Cho, it is a literal meaning and a literal application. So when you uncover this reality, which is the mainstream world, when you go through a disclosure and uncover the mainstream world, you will realize it is a charnel ground. And when you uncover some of the very disturbing things that goes on in the mainstream world, and what all the celebrities and politicians are up to, and that they are clones and demons, when you realize that, it can make you very uncomfortable, that they are into pedophilia, they are into cannibalism, trafficking, raping children, human torture, technological torture, electronic EMF, technological harassment. When you realize that, it will make you uncomfortable. But then you have to go and do your Cho practice in the charnel ground. So you have to do that. So you have to go into the mainstream, learn all the dark demonic activities that goes on in the mainstream actually, and overcome your fear. So how do you overcome the fear when you experience that the mainstream is a charnel ground? Our mainstream world is filled with demons and clones and reptilian consciousness and people that are world-renowned, these unbelievable things. When you discover and uncover that the mainstream is full of lies, that 9/11 was a script, the moon landing is fake, when you realize all that, you have to view this as a charnel ground filled with demons that lie and cheat and that do unimaginable dark stuff that is hard for a human being to comprehend, or hard for a human being to believe all the dark stuff that goes on. Things that we just see on movies, like horror movies, that we watch on movies, where they torture people and cut people. The mainstream demons, celebrities and politicians and demons, they actually do those things. That's why they show it in their art, because it's what they are and who they are. Snuff movies that they make, the celebrities and politicians, and what a snuff movie is, they torture someone and they film that torture, and they usually kill that person in the process of torturing them, and then they sell these movies in the internet black market. So that's what a snuff movie is. So that's why it is a charnel ground. So these are not ordinary criminals. They're not just looking for sex from a woman or just being a weird pedophile, but these are demons because they create movies about human torture. They torture someone, they film it, and they kill them, and they sell it to other people, and other people buy it for a lot of money. It circulates in the dark web, and there are lots of people that do this kind of stuff. So in the mainstream, when you realize the mainstream is very dark and deadly and crazy, filled with demons, that's when you realize that the mainstream is a charnel ground. And Buddhism has you covered with this as well, because when you uncover the darkness of the mainstream, you are given the Cho practice for your charnel ground. The Cho practice in Buddhism is done in a charnel ground to overcome all fear of demons. So you can do your Cho practice, your charnel ground Cho practice, through the mainstream. So what I have said here is that you can practice Cho in the mainstream reality and uncover its veil. Mainstream TV media is filled with demons. Internet is filled with demons. Celebrity politicians are demon clone vessels. Overcome the mainstream charnel ground by practicing the perfection of wisdom. So how are you going to unveil the demonic nature of the mainstream? Is by perfecting your wisdom. How do you perfect wisdom? By going and learning disclosure and honing and putting a lot of effort and breaking the black magic spell, the very strong black magic spell that can be overcome by perfection of wisdom. So you can't just go on go into the mainstream and casually come here to learn disclosures, it's not going to work out. You have to hone in, you have to practice, you need a meditative focus, because you're not just learning information, you're actually breaking very strong black magic, demonic spells that are cast on you for you to not believe that mainstream is a channel ground. So this is not a light activity. It is not an entertainment. It is not like when you can see a movie, a music, or read a book. It's not like that. You have to really put in the effort, perfect your wisdom, and unveil the mainstream as a channel ground filled with demons and clones. And realize emptiness, zero sunyata. So through perfection of wisdom, you can realize emptiness, which is like this whole reality is fake. Cho is a mother tantra. So Cho is what the Dakini does. It is the female mother tantra in Buddhism. Your main Cho practice needs to be in the mainstream charnel ground. So our mainstream is a charnel ground. So usually when they practice Cho in graveyards, when monks practice Cho in graveyards, that is equivalent to when humans practice Cho in mainstream, which is through unveiling the mainstream reality that is actually a demonic, satanic world. It is not a world made for humans. It is a world coming directly from the satanic, demonic forces that are teaching us all of these new mainstream concepts that has nothing to do with spirituality and that has nothing to do with the dharma. It is purely for consumerism. It's purely learning, to get a job, to buy a house, and be part of a worldly system and not have any spirituality, be directionless, buy into whoredom, science and technology, the disease matrix that we all believe in. So it's about that. The mainstream teaches you about that. It doesn't teach you about spirituality, Buddha, Christ. It doesn't teach you about the Dharma. So your main Cho practice needs to be in the mainstream channel ground. And Cho, it's sometimes even pronounced as Chod, C-H-O-D. So you can, when you go online, you will see C-H-O and C-H-O-D. So it means the same thing. It means severance, to sever. So how are you going to sever your contact with the mainstream and overcome the mainstream? Is by unveiling the mainstream world and realizing it is demonic. And when you unveil it, you naturally go through a Cho practice. But to unveil it, you have to go into the mainstream and properly study it. And through your study, you can unveil the true nature of the mainstream reality that is demonic, satanic, evil things. And when you realize that it is evil, demonic, satanic, it is based on deception and lies, you can easily sever your contact with that. So it's like your direct naked truth. So when we say, oh, denounce this world, it is really hard to conceptualize it. Like, what do you mean denounce this world? Why do you want me to denounce or renounce this world? You might think that, but once you unveil that this mainstream is demonic, satanic, evil things, you will just naturally denounce it. Once you discover the true nature, true satanic, true demonic nature of this mainstream world, you will naturally denounce. You will just sever it. You will cut it off because you know its true nature. And it's very powerful to practice Cho in the channel ground. So you have to go into the channel ground. And the channel ground here is the mainstream world. So you have to go in there, learn disclosure. Once you unveil the demonic nature, you naturally sever it. You don't even have to try. And that's how you do your Cho Mother Tantra. So this is the reality of the mainstream that we are dealing with. So this is the pyramid. This pyramid you can see in the US dollar, which is a capstone. This is like a floating eye. And this is like that. That is not connected to the base. This eye is floating. That is your shadow government, the ruling hidden elite. So they are outside of this world, though they are part of the same structure. This structure is the earth. This structure is the shadow government, hidden firmament. So it is separated. It is not attached because it is not from our world. It is outside the world, though it is one unit, but it is still outside because it is not attached to our system. So that's the main architecture of the ruling elite that live here in total illusion of like never being found out, never being held accountable, a deluded reality, thinking, oh, humans will never find out. Humans cannot, we are untouchable because we are basically not even in this world. So that's the invincibility they operate from. That's why they do school shootings, traffic, poisoning our food, water, and poisoning our earth with their chemtrails, chemical trails that you see in the sky. All wars come from there, all refugee problems, immigrations, debt, enslavement, which is the Western world, counterfeit elite money, tax. When they tax you, it's illegal taxing, theft, drug trade, stealing earth resources, fake property market, fake price increases, price hikes, fake education, fake sciences. They teach us racism. They cause divorces in our family. They have like the fake industries, the fake fashion, their pandemics, the terrorism, domestic violence, family dramas. All this is coming from up here. Social dramas, jealousy, competition, murder, crimes, medicine, all classes of disease are created and given. Mental health, tsunami, these are all weather modification stuff. Tsunami, earthquake, famine, poverty, lottery, experiments on humans, covert technology, silent technology, rape, pedophilia, bestiality, having sex with animals, fashion, makeup, witches, black magic, banking, interest, loans, politics, movies, space hoax, celebrities, gender wars, transgenderism, anti God. So, all of this is basically your mainstream world. So, you have to uncover all this through disclosure, through the testimony that we have given. You have to disclose for yourself and unveil this reality. And it is coming from here. And we have to, this is the system that we are in, living in this pyramid scheme, broadcast from the eye onto humanity with technology by hidden elite. So it's technology and organic demonic telepathy. So telepathy is natural to human beings. Right now I am within a telepathic interface, telepathic interaction, telepathic mission with these guys up here. So all of this is your mainstream world that you have to unveil and realize that it is a demonic, satanic reality, so you can naturally sever your contact with this world. So this is a verse from a Bible, Corinthians, so that we would not be outwitted by Satan, for we are not ignorant of his designs. So Father wants you to know what Satan is doing. We have to not be ignorant of his designs. So this is telling you, Father wants you to know. Father wants you to learn testimony and disclosure before we are not ignorant of his designs. We are aware of his system and what he is doing. It is all in the mainstream, and we have to go in and decode and unveil this satanic reality. So this prayer I have written: please reveal to me all the black magic placed in my environment, psychologically, and in objects. Please help me understand the full intention of all structures of darkness placed in and around me, so I may break all the spells with clear knowing, seeing, and understanding. Please give me crystal clear vision and the divine mind to decode, decipher all black magic structures, people, places, objects, that I may release with pure intelligence of clear decoding. With my heart, I hold space for myself to understand deeply the spiritual nature of darkness, that it may come into my light to heal. So this is like you want to set that intention to decode and decipher all black magic structures. So whether it is people, whether it is places, whether it's objects, whether they are psychological based, whether they are environmental based, they are intelligence based, whatever they are, you want to decode and decipher. So you can intend this. You can ask, you can please give me crystal clear vision so that I may decode, decipher all black magic structures around me. And what this Bible verse, Corinthians, say, therefore go out from their midst and be separate from them, says the Lord, and touch no unclean things, then I will welcome you. So it's like, understand this reality for what they are, come out from their midst, be separate from them, and do not touch any unclean things, then I will welcome you. So Father has made that clear. Know everything that the dark is doing. So how are you going to separate yourself from them? By knowing the truth. You will easily separate yourself from them. You'll sever your relationship, your contact with them. If you worship them and if you were a fan of them, now you can sever that connection and separate yourself from them and touch no unclean things. Father has told us to do this. So the main place where you will get your real disclosure and understand Satanism, understand the demonic reality that we live in, is your mainstream reality. Your mainstream world is a charnel ground, and you have to unveil it so you can sever your contact with this world, so that you can separate yourself from this charnel ground, come out from their midst, as Father said, so that I may welcome you. So you have to come out from this mainstream charnel ground so Father can welcome you. If you do not unveil this reality, if you do not know all the testimony that we are giving, if you cannot comprehend and understand or believe that, if you laugh and mock at what we are saying, you are going to go straight into hell. This mainstream charnel ground will be nothing compared to what you will experience in hell. So go into the mainstream charnel ground and learn about all the demons and all the darkness that goes on in this mainstream world, and decode this reality and sever contact with this world so that Father can welcome you. Know their religion, which is their Baphomet, half animal, trans god, are Satanist. All that pay allegiance to Baphomet are easily known through their works that they have done on humans. That evidence of their actions are everywhere in the mainstream. This will be revealed to humans when they are ready, since now the Satanists will start abusing humans if they find out or believe their covert telepathic presence among humans. When elites say God, they mean Baphomet. The trans rights is not for humans, but for the Baphomet trans god. So over here I have said, their allegiance to Baphomet are easily known through their works that they have done on humans. That evidence of their actions are everywhere in the mainstream. So you have to go into the mainstream to understand this Baphomet religion. It is a demon, half-goat, transgender god. It's a male god with a phallus and boobs. So you have to go and to Google Baphomet and see his image, and that's what the celebrities worship. That's what the ruling elite politicians, all your internet gurus and your influencers worship these things. They worship Baphomet, and they are all transgender. They're made in the image of the transgender god as well. So Satanists are transgender because they follow the Baphomet. They're made in the image of Baphomet. So know their religion. It's very important to know the satanic religion, that is the god Baphomet. And when you uncover this, you will know that we are living in a demonic, satanic, mainstream world, and we need to sever contact, separate yourself from them, come out of their midst so that I may welcome you. So that's what you have to do. And this is your rapture verse from Matthew, which Jesus Christ gave. 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken and the other left. 2 women will be grinding with a handmill, one will be taken and the other will be left. So this is like your rapture example, like what's going to happen. Like we don't know exactly how it's going to happen, but you can get an image and understand like the premise of what's going on. So even Christ is giving testimony of the rapture that will happen during the tribulation.